So, what are the elements of the GI protection strategy? First of all, there are the respects of internal rules. It means the specification rules. So, it means the control plan that will be implemented and all the monitoring system. Another element of the strategy will be the protection against legalized usurpation. Also, it will be the maintaining of the reputation of the products. Another activity would be the anti-counterfeiting activities, and also the improvement of the protection using other tools in order to make the GI stronger. What are the legal background that can be used in order to implement the GI protection? First of all, you have the GI national or regional legal framework. Secondly, you can also use the competition or consumers law. The ex officio protection can be also implemented, but you can also use the customs law. Infringements and imitations. What are the issues? First of all, what are the type of infringements? We have fake products, imitation and or counterfeited products present on the markets. We have the use of the evocation of the name. We have also the use of specific product patterns by an infringers. And we have also cheap and poor quality copycats that are sold over the internet. In terms of impacts, we have a negative perception of the product and also the value chain. We can have some loss of revenues, market share, and export markets, so lower profits. The consequences on the enterprises, innovation, and investment activities will be also important. And also, another element important, the cost of legal actions to fight against all of these frauds. We will follow with the infringement typology. We need to distinguish between internal infringement and external infringements. Internal infringements are the infringements made by the GI producers. It means that they will not respect the GI specification. One sanction of this non-respect of the specification can be the exclusion of the GI group and the exclusion of the GI use. Secondly, external infringements. These infringements are those made by the people outside the GI groups. It means the non-GI producers, and it can be in the country of origin, but also elsewhere, such as retailers, for instance. These frauds are mostly related to the use of the GI and also the labeling of the products. Let's check now the geographical scope of the GI protection. GI protection will depend on the infringements that have been identified on the markets. The protection can be at national or regional level. It can be also at international level. At international level, there are two types of protection access. First of all, the recognition of the geographical indication through a sui generis system or through a trademark system. Secondly, it can be the recognition through an international agreement. What is the scope of the GI protection in terms of infringements? You have three types of different uses. First of all, the use of the GI name on identical or similar products, which calls usurpation. Secondly, you have the use of the GI name on other products that aims to take an advantage of the notoriety of the name of the GI. We have many examples on champagne, on perfume or cigarettes, which call hijacking of notoriety. Lastly, we have the use of the GI, including when GI products are used as ingredients. This is the case in the EU regulation that provides the protection of the GI used as ingredients. Coming back to the typology of infringements and speaking about internal or external infringements, we will identify the type of infringements. Internal infringements will be the non-compliance with specification or the lack of respect of specification, and also producers that are not entitled to use the geographical indication. External infringements, we have different types, as we just said before. We have the usurpation, we have misleading the consumer, we have the misleading advertising, the misuse of reputation or hijacking reputation, counterfeiting, and different types of frauds. Let's see now some examples of usurpation. You have in this slide different pictures of fake products using the name of GIs for same types of products. For instance, you have Messinahof Beaujolais. Beaujolais is the name of a GI for wine. Another example is the bottle of Pomenroll. Pomenroll is a usurpation of the geographical indication for red wine, Pomerol. Another example is the packaging of the flour from Britain. This flour does not come from the geographical area and cannot use the name Britain, so it is a usurpation of the flour from Bretagne. Now let's take some example of misappropriation of the GI notoriety. As I said to you before, we have many cases for champagne because champagne refers to luxurious brand, so it can be appropriated by other products in order to sell more product because of the positive image and the luxurious image of champagne. Here you have two examples of champagne from Yves Saint Laurent, a famous perfume champagne from Yves Saint Laurent, and also another use for cigarettes. These two products do not exist anymore because of the GI recognition. Let's check now the evocation case. Evocation means some product that bear a name that looks like a name of a geographical indication. We have two cases for the geographical indication cognac, that is a spirit drink. We have two fake products, Cognagui and Konjac, that look like cognac geographical indication, and the evocation is also included as protection strategy. Another example is the example of GIs used as ingredients. We found again in this case champagne, because champagne can be included in a lot of product in order to give more added value of the product. You have the case of foie gras au champagne et tout poivre. In this case, this trademark, which is a famous trademark of foie gras, pretended having included champagne. However, the group of producers from Champagne decided to take this product and to make some tests of this product. And they found out that there was no any champagne inside this product. So it was a real usurpation of the GI name, and this product has to disappear from the market. Another example is the example of the red product Achoa, which is a special dish from the Basque Country in France, pretending that he used GI, Piment d'Espelette. However, in this case, again, we made some tests by a laboratory and we found out that there was no Piment d'Espelette at all. So this enterprise that sold this product has to get rid of the product on the market. Now we have another example about Scotch whiskey, another spirits drink. We have Grant's, which is a famous trademark of whiskey, and we have beside the Grits, that looks like, which is an evocation of a famous trademark with a geographical indication. Taking into account all of these cases of abuses, we have some proposal of actions in order to implement a GI strategy. First of all, we need to establish a geographical scope of action depending where we identified the infringements. Secondly, we need to establish or to strengthen legal competence within the group of GI producers. We need to organize a monitoring of the GI frauds and infringements. We need to let the people know that this activities is taking place. The GI group must be the key interlocutor for protection actions. And then, depending on the type of infringements, the GI group needs to decide contentious or no contentious actions, such as warning letters or legal actions. Some partnerships to consider. Implementing a GI protection activity requires some partnerships with other important stakeholders, such as frauds or consumers protection institutions. We can also use the customs, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Culture or Ministry of Craft. Also, GI register or intellectual property office can be useful and can help in the protection strategies. We have the lawyers, consumers protection associations, embassies if we find some infringements outside the country. Medias can also help in promoting the GI protection activities, and then other associations just like GI protection associations, IP lawyers association, etc., etc.